Welcome back everyone. Today I have another video for Kaido. This time this deck got second place at the German regional, and yeah, that's impressive. So I wanted to really test it out. I've been a big proponent of this deck being really good in the format, and I still think, and this really like validates a little bit of what I was saying. This deck is just really good. It is a little bit reliant on drawing the island on turn 3. But not to say that you cannot play the game if you don't do it. But like the games that you do draw the island on turn 3 are much better than the ones where you don't. But this player is trying to mitigate those variants with several cards that are I think are very good, and and yeah, let's get to see some of the cards. First thing is that he's playing a full 8 blockers plus the queen, so that's 12 blockers. I agree with this. If we are playing against like a white beer meta, and your turn 2 doesn't do anything basically, I mean unless you're going first, but either way, if you're going second, you don't do anything on turn 2. Playing a blocker is just a perfectly like good answer for everything, because even if they vista the blocker, that's 4 energy they're spending to play just the vista. You rather they do that than they developing something else. And if they don't develop a vista, then you have a blocker that just gets out of an attack for free. So I really like it. I do think this is probably the way. Just playing a bunch of blockers in this leader is just very good. It will give you a good late game and it give you a good early game. So yeah, I agree with this decision. Basil, it's a nice card. If you hit it out of life, you get to ramp for free randomly. So that's nice. Also, if you play just on curve, it just allows you to play against the red decks very efficiently. So I like that addition to the deck. Only 2, it's okay. It's a filler card, I feel like, but it's a decent filler card. Cheeky, the 2K Connors, he's playing only 11. That's a little bit surprising. I feel like 2Ks are very important right now, so I feel like a little bit more of 2K Connors would be good. But this worked fine for him, so I'm not gonna complain. Queen, of course. He's playing Babanuki. Yeah, Babanuki. I love this card is very good, especially if you go first. If you don't see your field spell, at least you have a play on turn 5 that is gonna like apply pressure, and he's gonna try to give you some like win condition on that end. So I like that addition to the deck. It's just really good. King at 3. And both kings at 3 and 3, they have their own purposes on different matches. So I do like this play, especially this king with so many laws running around is just very important. It's just a really good card at the moment, and I agree with this decision. It's just really good. This king is just really decent when you go island into this king. It's just backbreaking. Some decks cannot even combat that. It is very good. He has a 2-2 split on Kaido. I don't know how to feel about this. I think you either commit to one of the strategies, but committing to half and half on both, you might not see the one that you want on the matchup that you want. But again, this is what worked, so it's probably the way to do it. Like, you have to adapt to what you have in your hand. If you have the 10-drop Kaido, that's what you're playing for. If you get the 9-drop Kaido, that's what you're playing for. I think you just have to adapt to what you get in your hand, and this deck can play both very well. So it is what it is. You have answers for different matchups, and you adapt your game plan to whichever you draw, which is fine. It's a fine way to play the deck. 1 Blast Breath. Surprising that this is the one-off. It's a really good card, but maybe you just cannot play 4 on this deck anymore. So it's fine. Thunder Bagua, just so you can keep ramping at some point. That's just very important. Judgment as a 2-off. Yeah, this card doesn't feel. This card is either a 2-off or a 3-off. I think 2 is just good enough. You have enough defense, so this should be good enough. 1 Elephant's Marchu. This card is just like another Basil Hawkins, but you go in second, you get to KO something if you don't see your island. So you get to just KO something and also ramp. Just try to get, like, in case you go second and you don't have anything against aggressive decks. So it's fine. It has a good trigger ability, which just randomly ramps you for free. So it's a good card all around that I'm not like disappointed to see as a one-off. It can come clutch here and there. It can give you a game for free because you maybe blow up a blocker that they were relying on, and then you just go for game. So it is a decent card that you can give. It can give you games here and there, and it's just only a one-off. So I can agree with this. So yeah, this is the deck. Let's go see some gameplay. Okay, and we're gonna play against Kaido. We mulligan, but it couldn't find the island, and they're going second. And they have that down on turn 1, so that's very scary at the moment. If I don't find the island, I have a second basal here. I think I only needed one. Not that I didn't find the island. I think I only needed one, but it's fine. I'll just play the Black Maria and just try to sit on this and see what I can do. I do need to develop the board a little bit, so that's why I'm developing the Black Maria here. Nami is just a really good combo here. It's probably the best start that any Zoro player wanna have when it comes to this deck. I'll take the 6 because I kind of want to see if I can get the island going early on. So I'm taking the 2 first hits to see if I can get there. But since I didn't get there, I gotta just play a little bit different. I could have attacked for a bigger number here, or I could have attacked the Dan with the Black Maria and attacked the leader. But it's fine. I just leave 1 energy on top. It's not the biggest problem. My opponent, I don't think he can really attack with the 2Ks, and if he does, that would be okay. I can just pitch a basal for that reason. Okay, the Makimo does make the attacks much easier, and I do believe they want to be aggressive because my deck is very powerful in the late game, so they just want to be as aggressive as they can, and I can understand that, and I can agree with this decision. I do have to conserve my life a little bit. And I think going to 3, being at 3 life is just very important against this deck. Because they do have a lot of like maybe unblockable Luffys, and I have to be careful on that end. I gotta take this because, again, I don't have a play for next turn. And I was just trying to dig for a play to make here. Unfortunately, I did get a queen here. So I'm gonna attack with the basal. See if he wants to block. I assume he's not gonna want to. So yeah, I take advantage of that, and I just attack with the Black Maria. Because if he wants to attack the Black Maria, that's fine. She will do the same, and I have to get rid of some of the pressure that he's got right now going on. I do get to draw. I haven't drawn really anything like decent here. I do get to play another blocker, so these blockers are gonna be good eventually. So I'm happy that I have them right now. I discarded 1 Black Maria. I probably should have discarded the Hawkins in this game, but he attacks the Black Maria with the Dan, and I block with that one because if he wants to destroy the Black Maria, he has to waste another attack there. And I have a good enough hand size to where he's not gonna attack me really at the leader, or at least I'm gonna be able to out combo that. And if I get to untap with this board, it's gonna be a decent board to untap with. And I definitely do want to protect my queen, although he might have a jet pistol here, and he does. But I do want to protect my like the only source of pressure that I have. And I will attack the Zoro for 7, see what he wants to do, if he wants to defend it, and then act accordingly depending on what he does. My opponent still has a lot of cards in hand, and he has for life, so I'm not in a good spot. I haven't seen my my field spell, and I haven't seen my top end, so I'm still playing for that kind of like the top end here, and I have to play them at shoot because I need some pressure for like when he eventually plays the 9-drop. I need to have something to answer it. Instead of doing that, he's gonna play the Vista, just trying to apply some pressure into me. I do gotta block this one because I don't know how much he's gonna attack me with the Zoro. But I don't have too many cards, and I don't know if he has removal for the one that I have right now. I get the Bagua from life, and I don't want to use it because this game it feels like he's gonna try to attack me for big numbers, and I have to be careful not to just randomly die here. for nothing. Here, I'll attack for 7. If he does give me 2 cards, it's gonna be easier for me to win this game. But he didn't. The reason what I'm saying is because I could just play a Drake, make him discard the last card, and then attack the Zoro, and he doesn't have any cards in hand. So I can beat that. That's not that difficult to beat, but because I have the blockers to stop him for a little bit. But if he plays a Whitebeard next turn, it's gonna be more difficult. It all depends on what he does, and he does play the Whitebeard. So now I'm a bit more preoccupied of what's happening, but it's still fine. I can just out combo out of this, and I'm gonna use the Judgment because the other one has more counter power, and it's still gonna be good next turn. The Judgment is down the middle. It's not like winning me the game. It's not losing me the game. And here I draw another blocker, but these blockers are not good against the Zoro. I mean the Whitebeard. And I think I want to try to pressure him a little bit here. Just attack for 7, 7. He didn't combo out of the first one. He didn't combo out of the second one. So now I'm gonna put a little bit more. No, I'm attacking for 7. Okay, that's fine. I still just trying to go for game next turn. Maybe I do want to burn him for the last life. I don't want to give him that extra card here. But I'll decide that next turn depending on what he does. But he's gonna try to go for game. He's attacking with the big Whitebeard, making me take the life. I'm gonna try to just I'll take the life because I want to force him into him going for game, like him feeling confident and just tapping out, so I can just be able to just out combo him and try to go for game next turn. That's gonna be very important for me. So I do want him to tap out. If he doesn't tap out, then I still have to go for game next turn, but it's gonna be much more difficult depending on if he has a radical beam or not. So those are the things that I have to think of. But this was a decent game, having in consideration that I didn't get any like field spell, any bombs, nothing. Like I've been playing out of like the cards that are not like the main game plan of the deck. So you see the deck's still very decent, really powerful. Even if that's the case, you can still find a way to fight through all like not having enough cards here. I'm just like looking at the graveyard, see if he has maybe some Rush or Zoro that he can play. Okay, that's what he has. But he just goes for it. He goes 9, hoping that I don't have enough, which I do. I have 2 counters, and I mean, that's just good enough. I can do it on the Gordon, but it doesn't matter because that one was not going to attack anyway. And I just have to find a way to just deal the last point of damage. The best way that I can do it, I think if I can attack for 7 here, I can just guarantee it. But attack for 8, doesn't matter. Like if he out combos out of this one, is fine because I can just attack with the Basil here. Use the last energy. And if he wants to combo out of this one, I'm still gonna burn him for life. And I'm gonna attack with the Babuniki for 10, I believe. Yeah, 10. So it should be enough either way. However he does it. If he takes it, I just attack 6 or 11. It doesn't matter. Now here I just get to burn the last life. And attack for 10. And only one card doesn't stop me here. So yeah, we were able to win this one. It was a scrappy game, but it shows the power of the deck even if you don't draw the island. Okay, and we're gonna play against Whitebeard. This matchup, I mean, I want to see my field spells, but I mean, I can only do so much, right, to draw him. It seems it's gonna be a session without the field spell here. He's playing the Dan. That's a non-conventional version of the deck. Maybe he's playing a bunch of 1-drops, trying to be more like low to the ground. Interesting concept. I have never really considered it, but we're gonna attack for 8 because we don't want him to play a Whitebeard on like high life total, so might as well just try to pressure a little bit. And we don't have another play anyway, so might as well do that. I might play the Queen going... Oh, I got the island. That is pretty much what I want to be doing, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's just a better play that I can do. Even though I'm a little bit behind here, I can use the island, um, draw a card, and then try to get ahead with the other cards that I have in my deck. Maybe if I get to draw a 10 drop here would be good. I have a lot of cards in hand, and I have two queens, which they don't seem like much, but they're probably what were gonna give me the game here. And kings are gonna stabilize a little bit to the board here, depending on what my opponent does, of course. But he out combos out of the second attack here. I attack for 7. I didn't see what he got out of the Nami. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't pay too much attention on that one. But it doesn't matter. I mean, whatever he got is whatever he get out of Nami. I will always expect my opponent to have the best hand, and I have to play around that. Here he does have a lot of 5k attacks if he does want to. I don't know what other. I mean, he could be played the Rush Luffy. I could see that happening. He probably doesn't play Ace if he's playing this many 1-drops and he's trying to play Dadan. Definitely a weird version of the deck, but I mean, maybe it's good enough. You use your small creatures as attackers and defense at the same time, because maybe they attack them, and then they get value, and you can use them as blockers. That could be pretty decent. He has a full board here right now, and he's probably gonna be able to attack me for a couple attacks here. So he does have a scary board at the moment, and I have to deal with it. 5k here, it's I mean, I have to combo out of that one. 5 out of Robin and 5 out of the leader. I might take the Robin because I mean, I don't have a clean 5k that I want to pitch. I think the queens are gonna be really important, so I'd rather just pitch the 6k to the leader. And I might attack the Dan because I cannot like keep getting attacked for 5k for free here. I just gotta buy myself enough time to be getting to this game here. Or I'll attack the leader, because I mean, if he wants to spend his whole turn attacking for 5ks, he's not developing the big threats, and then he goes to less life more quickly, and that's fine too. Maybe he wants them to use them as distraction, and I don't want that to be the case. I don't want that to happen. So I might as well attack the leader and try. I don't have anything else to do with the 2 energy, so might as well use it to pressure the leader instead of attacking at the Dang, which is gonna be just a blocker here. But yeah, okay. So he gets rid of the Otama. I mean, that's pretty good. If he was thinking this hard about it, it means he probably didn't have a second Otama, or he's light on 2k counters, and he was pitching the last ones. So, and yeah, Otama is the last one that you pitch, always out of order. So if you notice when you play against a Whitebeard player, you have to notice which 2k counters they pitch. If they're pitching an Otama, that's usually the last card that you want to pitch with Whitebeard, because Otama in combination with the 9-drop can get through blockers, and you really don't want to pitch it. So if they're pitching the Otama, it means that they are in a tough spot when it comes to 2ks. Either they don't have too much, or the ones that they have an abundance of quality of 2ks. In which case, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's whatever they have. So he's playing an Otama, maybe. Okay, so he's playing Jet Pistol too. So it's a weird version of the deck. And he's gonna attack for 5, but that's fine. He doesn't have really other attack here. He attacks for 7. It's the most efficient one. But I finally get my Kaido, and my Kaido can put this game back into where I want it to be. I just destroy at the Dan here. I'll attack the leader again because I want to pressure his leader. Take a 1k out of the opponent's hand, and then attack him with the Kaido so he goes to 0. And then now he cannot play the 9-drop, like at least confidently that he's gonna survive. And I just need to survive the next couple of turns. Maybe he wants to attack with a barrage of 5ks, but I do have enough cards in hand to where that's not really a good strategy. And I have 2 queens here to just close the game. I have already my win condition on board, which is the 9-drop, and that's why I like that card a lot in this deck. Like, being able, this 9-drop is just good in any matchup right now. It doesn't matter what matchup it is, it's just gonna be really efficient. So that's why I like the list that I have been posting on this leader have been only on the 9-drop, like focus on the 9-drop. But that's preference more than anything on the leader, really. Like, it's not like one is extremely correctly over the other one. It is really preference of which one you want to do. My opponent does have to keep up a lot of energy here for the radical beams. I don't think they wanna be tapping out, and I don't want to combo out of this one because it will take one of my queens, and I do value my queens very highly. I just wanna okay. Well, he is now playing a chopper, but if you notice, he doesn't have anything else going on. He's attacking for 5, 6, but 6 is easy to out combo. And that's his whole turn basically. So I'm okay if he wants to keep attacking with the Namis and the dance. That's a much better ratio in terms of energy. He's not doing anything else that worries me at the moment. I am now next turn. I do have to consider whether or not I want to play the king and attack. And then keep up. I will have to pitch my queens if I decide to play the king, because I don't think I can kill him. But now I draw the other queen. The other king, which is much more efficient, and I think it's just much better if I do it like this way right now. I'll get rid of the Dadan because he's the best attacker, and I'm not gonna waste energy into my Kaido to attack the leader. That's just not good enough. So I'm just gonna attack with the Kaido for bigger numbers, and that should be good enough. Now I don't have too much counter power here, but he doesn't have really decent attackers. I have 10k, so he has to attack for 10 and 10, 10, 11 on Namis and what he has on board, and that's all his energy, and that's not really good enough. If I have a 2k, or if I get a 1k out of my life, that's not even good enough to kill me. So he does need to develop something else that is like okay. So he attacks with the Makimo instead. That could be a way to end the game because that's a lot of damage. But he attacked for 7, and 7 is easy to wow combo in this spot right now. And then unless he's playing like a rush Luffy, that could end the game. Maybe that's what he's digging for right now. I'm not sure. A rush Luffy could end the game, I think. I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it has to attack with 1 for 6k. So no, he doesn't really finish the game. So I do get another turn if he plays a rush Luffy, which he only searched for the radical beam. He didn't attack my leader on here with the white beard. I don't know why. Maybe he misclicked. He didn't do anything else. That was kind of weird. He could have put me to 0 and then attack with the Otama maybe. Even if he doesn't do anything, then whatever. But now because of that play, I do get to probably just win the game, because I get to play the queen on this spot, and I have a Hell Judgment now, and that's all I really needed to close the game. Now my opponent, even if he has a couple like a bunch of radical beams and whatever else in the hand, this turn is gonna be is gonna clean that out really quickly, and my opponent just will lose next turn probably. Maybe not this turn, but like next turn for sure. Although if I wanted to, I could go for it, but he kept a lot of energy up, so I'm assuming he has a lot of radical beams. Let's not assume that he made a mistake, but just rather he has, like, let's say all the cards are radical beams, whatever. In which case I do need to play a little bit around it. And the best way I can do it is by playing the queen and attacking for 8, because that demands one of them, and then attacking for the with the A drop for even 10, or it could be 11, so I can keep up the Hell Judgment. It should be just fine. I'm not gonna destroy the Nami because, I mean, it doesn't really do much. Again, if he wants to spend the energy doing Nami, I'm okay with that. And I'll attack for 9 because I know I'm gonna draw 2 cards with the queen and I'm gonna have 2 energy on top. My opponent is going to combo out of this. And he's finally at two cards in hand, so I know next turn I can definitely go for game. And as it happens, I play the queen and I have enough counter power to just survive. I have a blocker, I have a life, and I have judgment plus 2 to 1 case. That should be enough to survive any kind of scenario that he puts through here. And yeah, that was the deck. I don't know if that was the mistake here, but yeah, let's go to the next game. Oh, okay, and we're gonna play the mirror. I get the deck got popular now. We chose to go second because we want to get the most chances of seeing the field spell, and going second offers you that as an option. And as you can see, finally we are not the ones not getting the Onigashima on curve. So we are actually the ones playing Onigashima on the turn that it's supposed to, and that feels really good, especially in the mirror. And I have the win condition that is the 10 drop here, so I'm just gonna save the 10 drop for when either he plays a 9 drop and he uses the ability, or when he play his own 10 drop. So I gotta force that out of my opponent. I gotta play a kind of a whiteboard, and the queens are gonna be perfect for that job, because I can just play them, replace them, and they're gonna be blockers. They're gonna be good, and then the opponent at some point they will have to board wipe them with their own 10 drop. And then I just play the one on my own, and I should win from there on. That's how you play the mirror usually. And here, the fact that my opponent doesn't have an island and he's trying to attack for a big number here, I just have a blocker into that. It just feels really bad for my opponent at this point. Not to say he's completely out of the game, but I am heavily advantaged on this matchup at the moment. I do not expect myself to lose this matchup unless I make a colossal misplay at the moment. Yeah, my opponent is using Thunder Bagua just to survive a little bit, and that is just the best feeling that you can feel when you play a queen. When you already have an island on board and you draw another one just so you can pitch it. Oh, that is just the best feeling that you can have with queen when you're playing it. Definitely. Now I have another. I could play the king next turn since he didn't block with the Black Maria, and I can just get some value. And again, I'm just trying to force my opponent to play either the 9 drop or their own 10 drop, so I can do it back to them. So right now that's just my only goal. I'm just trying to force that card out of my opponent. I might go to 3 life just so I can have enough cards to defend everything that I have. Or I can just defend this one. This is easy enough to defend. But I feel like going to 3 life is just good enough right now. I don't want to go below 3, but I think 3 is just the right number right now. And he just has to play a king for no value. But that's fine with me. I can just play my own king, use the ability. I'm just gonna still be on 10 next turn, just in case they do play their own 9 drop or whatever they have. And I'm gonna get rid of the blocker. I have a Bagua to keep up. Maybe that's good enough or not. Again, if he does play a 9 drop, it's gonna be a little bit risky. So I do wanna attack, but not like be overly committed to one play. And I'd rather just play the blocker here, because that demands an answer from my opponent, and I can defend my cards or my leader very efficiently. I have enough 2Ks, and maybe I have to combo one of the queens. But I have 4, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue. I could have also kept up the Bagua, but I feel like Bagua is gonna be much more efficient and much more better once I do a minus like big effect, so I can keep it up and do all of that. And they're playing the Marchu, so I feel like they're playing the same list that I'm playing right now. The Marchu should be a 1-off, and they're going into 10 energy, but they don't have anything really scary that I'm on board right now. And if he decides to attack my queen, I should be able to defend it fairly easily. If no, I'll just let it die, and and I just get to replace it with another queen, which is should be just fine. They might attack it with everything else and just try to remove it, in which case I will let it die, just play another queen, keep attacking the leader, forcing the action out of my opponent. But no, rather he makes me discard one card, and I'm gonna discard the queen again for the same reason. We are playing the first one to blink is the one that is gonna lose, and I do play my I do take that life because I don't want to pitch another queen. They are really important, and I don't want to just go below the number that I need to. And here I just force. I need to force my opponent to get the action going. So I'm gonna attack for 7/7/7, and this is gonna force the action out of my opponent. He played the basil. Not entirely sure why, because I mean, maybe he doesn't have the 10 drop and he just wants the extra pressure for free, which is understandable. We'll see what he wants to do, however. And I have one energy, two energy up, and my board is very good, and I'm forcing the action out of my opponent. If he doesn't deal with my board, I might as well just probably end the game next turn, depending on what happens. But I'm gonna keep my options up depending on what my opponent does. He has 5/5/7/2. He could also play a 9 drop here. 9 drop will be probably the best card that he can play. See, it does remove my queen and maybe remove my board, or at least pressure my leader. Okay, so yeah, that's what he has. And I think he was a little bit hesitant to use it because he knows if I answer with my own 10 drop, it will be really disastrous for him. So he does probably want to pressure my leader instead of the creatures on board, just to so he can prevent the 10 drop from being like a possibility. However, he is attacking my leader here, and I'm gonna defend it because although I think I should have defended with the health judgment, because that would have out combo out of the leader and the king, and I would only have to out combo like 1/5k here. So it's slight misplay on my end. I did I over combo a 1k for no reason. But my hand still looks pretty good. He can attack my leader here now, but that should be fine because he cannot burn me and go for game on the same turn. Although I don't have much counter power, to be fair. But he goes after the queen because he knows like that's still gonna pressure him, and if he doesn't deal with that, I can just go for game next turn. So he does have to be a little bit careful in that end. And here I guess he just passes. But since I have this, however, there's an interesting argument here. I could not attack the leader. The reason why is because, well, the 5k is fine because I know my opponent, although I cannot just do it after I play the 10 drop. But one thing that I could have played around here is my opponent having a health judgment on life, because that one makes me go -1 on energy, and then that's very scary. If I don't like, if it makes me -1, then my 10 drop, I cannot play the 10 drop this turn, and that will be kind of catastrophic for next turn. So there is an argument for playing around the judgment here, but I feel like if he's playing the same list that I'm playing, it's just a 2-of, and them hitting it alive feels like really sucky. And at that point, I have to accept that result and just like try to go for a different play, because there's just no other way for me to win at that point. If he has it, he has it. That's no other way. And here I just get to do the Kaido play, where he only has one card in hand, so I know he cannot out combo at 12k. I just need to get rid of the blocker, and I just have the perfect hand here, the perfect card here. And I attack with the leader first because, I mean, if he out combos out of that one, I know for sure he cannot out combo out of whatever I have. But it's just a matter of playing the king, burn him, or out combo, and it doesn't matter. This way I don't have to burn my opponent for life. I just have to just attack for game. That's all I needed to do. And yeah, mainly I had the answers and I had the field spell, but my opponent was able to make a good game out of this, even though I did have like my probably the best answers that I could have for the matchup. And I have my island, and I have my 10 drop, and I have everything that I needed. Okay, and we're gonna play against Sakatsuki. I was going first. I didn't find the island again. The team for today: how to play Kaido without the island. Apparently, my opponent did. I mean, they didn't find their 4-cost card, so at least on balance in this game, at least. I'm gonna attack with the king, and I think I'm gonna use the queen, because I'm trying to dig for that island. That card is just way too important, or at least some action. Even though I have to trash my car, I mean, I'm already on the even curve, so I mean, I'm on the odds curve, so switching back to the even curve, it's just good enough. So I don't feel bad for like minusing my cars here. However, this is a really good play against me right now, because it just cleanly deals with my queen, and yeah, I don't have an answer lined up for that guy until like for 2 more turns, 2 or 3 more turns. I don't have an answer for him, so it's gonna be a really annoying card to deal with. And at least here 5k I'm able to out combo. However, I'm not out comboing the guy, the elephant, because I kind of want to play next turn. So I wanted to block, but I decided I hit the no block first, so I was forced to combo the 2k here. And what do you know, I drew another one, so that feels really bad for me. But at least I'm able to get rid of this guy and develop a threat again. Now if he has another Sakatsuki, it's gonna be really bad for me, but I don't want to minus my energy again, because I'm gonna need it to be able to get to the next stage. So I just gotta do this right now. At least the blocker is gonna like play defense for 1 more turn here, but it's not looking that good for me. Depending on what they have, of course. I mean, I have to hope they don't have another Sakatsuki, because if they do, it's gonna be a really difficult game for me. Okay, so they don't have the Sakatsuki, but they do play Ice Age, and that's a really easy way to deal. Like, the leader just deals with it very cleanly because of that card. So that's it costs 2 cards to use it with the leader, but it's fine. It's not terrible. He attacks for 6. I wonder why he didn't attack for 7. I don't know what he has for 1 energy. Here attacks for 7, and I block definitely. I just trying to conserve my life a little bit, because it's gonna, like, I'm gonna have to play. Oh, okay, so he plays that one just to reduce more the cost, and he can use the leader. It makes sense. I'm gonna play the queen again. I'm hoping at this point. And the reason I play the queen is because I have the Thunder Bagua, so I'm hoping that I can I take 2 hits and I can out combo out of one attack, and I can ramp this turn to go back into the even curve. And I do need cards here, so I can just keep refilling, because I mean, that's the only way that I'm gonna be able to keep up in this game, if I play my queens. Now if he has an answer for queen, it's gonna be again a really difficult game for me, but it is what it is. It is what I have. It is what I have to deal with. And he does have another Ice Age, and he can deal with it with the leader. So that's the advantage of playing this leader over Smoker. You do get to like have the removal on the leader. The only thing that you do need is just like the minusing cards, so your leader can deal with everything pretty much. And yeah, now look at this. This is just really good. And then he's gonna attack for 6. I'm probably gonna have to combo to that one. I mean, again, there was an argument for me to take it and use the Baguas, but okay, I just used the Bagua. I'm just gonna try to keep myself as healthy as possible, so I can try to have more like back-to-back like bombs. And when I'm talking about a bomb, I'm talking about the king more than anything. But I'm forced to play here the Kaido. Now, I destroyed the Sakatsuki, but there is an argument to KO the I forgot her name, the 3-drop. Because that one, if he just uses all his energy to KO my Kaido, he does get to attack my leader, and he gets to KO the Kaido at the same time. So it's really like there was an argument, and attacking the 7K, it was probably better, although he probably would have been able to get rid of my 10 drop either way, and I just needed to be able to KO the 3 drop. So I'm not sure exactly what would have been the best play, but this is what I chose to do, because I feel like if I don't KO his Sakatsuki, I am gonna have a really hard time closing the game, and I have to spend another turn probably having to deal with him. Instead, here next turn I can at least play the king, deal with the Hina. Like if that's his play, he's trying to remove my Kaido, then I can at least use the next turn to just deal with the king. And yeah, that's the play. So he's gonna do dual attack, one on the leader, one on myself. And I can understand that play. I agree with it. Maybe not attacking 10, because that maybe not everything. So at least I could have taken 2 life here, and he puts me at 1. Then he might have been in a better spot maybe. I'm gonna attack for 5. If he takes it, then I just play the elephant. If he doesn't, then I just have to play the king, and I'm trying to go for them there. I have 2 life. I have to protect those if I can, because my hand is not like really that good. So I have to be a little bit careful here. He uses the Zuru, and that's on the Ice Age, so he can deal with my queen, my king, I mean. And that deal cost him 3 cards. Although at the same time, the Zuru is gonna become an attacker because he doesn't have any more plays per se. So I kind of do have to get rid of the Zuru, funny enough. But I did get to draw the king here. So again, we're trading blows back and forth here on this matchup. It's getting a little bit scrappy, but it is what you gotta do here in this spot. I just don't have anything else to do. I have a queen now, but I'm a little bit scared of the Zuru because he could become an attacker, and I don't have much counter power in my hand. So if he removes my queen and then attacks, it just could be a little bit problematic. Although the queen probably still would have been the best play, because it does give me allow me to get rid of the island, and gets me 2 fresh new cards. So I mean, take it for what it is. But we'll see. I mean, I'll play based on what my opponent is doing. The queen is still gonna be really good next turn, and I can play 2 blockers next turn probably. He attacks for a big number. I cannot out combo that one. I'll use this the Marchu. I hit it alive, so I get to ramp for freely here. So that's very good. That's probably gonna give me a way to win the game. I just have to find it. Now here, another island. So it would have been a bad draw out of my queen anyway. I have options here. I could play 2 blockers. I don't think you can get rid of both. But then I have to combo the Kusan, and that seems also difficult. But I'm gonna play based on what my opponent can do. He has only 3 cards in hand, so I'm gonna attack with the Kaido, see what he wants to do, and then I'm assuming he has a 4K counter and maybe 2Ks here. So if I attack for this much, he out combos it. Now I get to use the island, get to 10 energy, do Dome -7, burn the last life, and even if those 2 cards are 2Ks, I just get to go for game with this attack. So I was able to find a win here through all that like removal and all that like steps here that my opponent did. So I mean, it's a great showing for the deck. This was a nice matchup, even though it's not like the most meta deck. My opponent played it very decently, and it was a scrappy game, but it was a fun one for sure. Alright, and for our final thoughts on the deck, I think the deck has some like really decent plays. My only concern with the deck is not drawing the island, and I mean, that's always been true for Kaido. I think the deck is just very powerful if you do. And if you're gonna spike a tournament, I think this is a good option. If you do like get your cards, if you draw the island and you draw the bombs, like this deck is really hard to stop when that happens. The problem is lies right there, right? The consistency is not there, at least not at the moment. Maybe in the future you get more cars that they can search the island like consistently, like you can have like a consistent game plan. Then this might be a better pick for like in the future. But as it stands, I mean it's a good deck, but like it lacks consistency. That's the only problem. But yeah, I did really enjoy playing the deck, and I commend the guy that got second with this. It was a really nice representation of like the different decks, and it goes to show like even though the meta is the meta, you can really in this game you can really win with any deck because it is really about like how well you play the tournament and a little bit of luck sprinkled there, but that's card games for you. All the card games are gonna have a little bit of luck like embedded in them. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you all for watching. Have a good day.